Tonight on Texas News Primetime, UT promotes a new chief of police of the UT Police Department.
The Mosaic of America's Culture Committee hosts its annual Celebración at UT.
Senator Ted Cruz and Allred agree to a televised debate.
Card game Cards Against Humanity company sues Elon Musk's SpaceX for $15 million.
Dancing with the Stars returns for its 33rd season. This is Texas News Primetime.
News made for Longhorns.
Good evening. For Monday, September 23rd, I'm Nicole Vargas.
And I'm Joseph Sweeney. Thank you for joining us tonight.
UT Austin has promoted Shane Streepy to Chief of Police of the UT Police Department, announced in a press release sent last Friday. Streepy takes over following the abrupt resignation of former police chief Eve Stevens, according to KU. In response to the decision, UT President Jay Hartzell praised Streepy's, quote, outstanding leadership, end quote, and experience in polishing UT's large and highly connected campus community. The FBI arrested a man last Monday who was facing interstate communications with threat to injure and cyber-stalking charges after allegedly sending numerous threatening messages to two high-level University of Texas employees. The Nevada resident Brian Solomon faces the charge after allegedly sending physical and sexual assault threats for several months. The two unnamed employees seem to have ties to the athletic department, according to the federal court records, and alleged threats included attending the victim's events to, quote, massacre, end quote, anyone present. One victim told federal investigators she moved homes out of fear for her safety. A protection order was entered against Solomon due to his guilty plea and two other previous arrests, including an unrelated stalking case in Nevada this year. The Mosaic of America's Culture Committee hosted its annual event Celebración on Thursday, kicking off Hispanic Heritage Month. TSTV News has the story.
September 15th marks the start of Hispanic Heritage Month, and the Mosaic of America's Culture Committee is kicking off their month-long festivities with Celebración.
I'm really excited. This is like our first event of the whole year, school year. This is also our first event of the Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. MACC has never done like the full month, so I'm really excited to kick it off. And this is like our annual event, so I'm always excited to see it every year.
The event featured various Latin foods, performances from campus organizations, informational booths, and of course, games and prizes.
This is great because I've been looking for a Hispanic org. And so a lot of them are kind of here, and this is a really good place for me to just like make friends that are Hispanic as well, because on campus it's kind of ambiguous to find somebody like me.
Celebración hosted over 100 students in the William C. Powers Ballroom, making for a memorable way to unite Longhorns of all cultures.
So MACC signifies Mosaics of American Culture, which is basically we're just mixing all the culture in Latin America and America. You make a big old mix of every color and you go crazy with it, and that's what MACC is. I just hope that it creates like an environment people can like celebrate their identity, but also like we welcome everyone and for people to come to the event and learn about like a different culture.
For TSTV News, I'm Nicole Vargas.
The discovery of two people found dead in their South Austin home sent shockwaves to the city this past weekend. Around 1:50 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, Austin police responded to a welfare check at a home off Brook Hill Drive. The victims were said to have multiple trauma wounds, and a person of interest was taken into custody. During a press conference later that day, APD reported that the incident appeared to be isolated with no risk to the community. While no information has yet been released about the details of the victims or person of interest, APD is investigating this as the 44th and 45th homicides of the year. Austin City Limits announced it will be hosting a 50th birthday bash featuring Willie Nelson and his family. Nelson performed on the pilot episode of Austin City Limits and has the most appearances of any performer on the series. Austin City Limits is the longest-running music television show in the U.S. The event will take place October 17th at the Long Center Lawn. The event is free to attend, but you must register with fair access for the chance to claim up to 2 free tickets. The registration deadline is tonight at 10 p.m. More information can be found online at aclturns50.com. Friday's Cigarettes After Sex concert was postponed to November 24th, announced by the Moody Center on X, formerly known as Twitter, over 30 minutes after the concert's planned start time. The concert was postponed due to, quote, unexpected circumstances, according to the Moody Center's post. It remains unclear, though, what circumstances occurred. but previously purchased ticket holders will be honored for the new event in November. Ticket holders can also choose a refund by October 21st, according to a statement released by Ticketmaster.
Current Republican Senator Ted Cruz and Democratic challenger Colin Allred have agreed to a televised debate on October 15th, 3 weeks before Election Day. In a recent poll from the Morning Consult, Allred leads Cruz by 1 point. This is the first time that Allred has polled ahead of Cruz, who is looking for his third consecutive term in the Senate. The pivotal debate will take place at WFAA's studio in Dallas. After a gunman opened fire and injured 3 at the Texas State Fair in Dallas last year, the State Fair of Texas announced a policy banning most guns on fairgrounds in August. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton in turn took legal action against the city of Dallas and the State Fair to block this ban's enforcement, but this motion was denied by the Dallas County District Court judge. Paxton has since announced his intent to appeal the decision, bringing the case to Austin's 15th Court of Appeals, where the constitutionality of the ban will be examined. Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff headlined Texas Offense's Freedom to Vote rally earlier today in San Antonio. Emhoff encouraged voters to turn out to the polls and elect Kamala Harris to the presidency and Colin Allred to the Senate. Allred is running to unseat Republican Senator Ted Cruz. Prior to Emhoff's remarks, the crowd heard from other Texas political figures, including Congressman Greg Casar, national political social media influencer Olivia Juliana, and San Antonio Mayor Ron Nierenberg. Allred, who was mentioned by many of the speakers throughout the rally, was not in attendance. Emhoff is scheduled to make campaign appearances in Austin and Houston tomorrow.
Rapper and record producer Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, was arrested on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering on September 16th, with a denial of bail. The indictment included alleged freak-offs, which had also been outlined in court by Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura. According to this indictment, these events included the drugging and filming of sex trafficking victims, which had been arranged by Combs. Federal agents raided Combs' Miami and Los Angeles houses in March and recently revealed that some of the possessions inside included 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, controlled substances, and 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Combs is facing at least 8 sexual assault and abuse lawsuits, and a trial date has yet to be released. Vice President Kamala Harris has accepted an offer from CNN for an October 23rd presidential debate against former President Donald Trump. This debate would feature no live audience and muted microphones, similar to the previous debate held by CNN in June. Despite the Democratic nominee's acceptance, however, Republican nominee Trump has upheld his stance that there will be no further debates between him and Harris. In a rally Saturday, the former president said it was too late to hold another presidential debate, given that a number of states have already begun early voting for the November general elections. A mass shooting occurred on Saturday evening in the 5 Points South Entertainment District of Birmingham, Alabama, taking place in the high-traffic area at about 11 p.m. The shooting killed 4 people and left 17 others injured, according to police. The targeted shooting left the intended victim among the dead. The shooters fled the scene after opening fire on a large crowd, possibly using automatic machine gun weapons. Most of the victims were in their mid to late 20s, as the entertainment district is close to the University of Alabama, Birmingham, attracting many college-age individuals to the area. No suspects have been arrested, as investigators are still determining the exact motive behind the attack and who the intended victim was. Many officials have called for a crackdown on weapons within Birmingham, considering the high crime rate within the city. The incident has rocked the community, prompting city personnel and law enforcement to call on the general public to aid them in finding the suspects. Noting how this is one of the many instances of gun violence within the city of Birmingham and the United States.
Last week, tensions between Israel and Lebanon have begun to alarm other countries. On Tuesday, hundreds of pagers and walkie-talkies killed over 40 people and injured over 2,000 people in Lebanon. This was followed with airstrikes killing Hezbollah's senior officials. Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, referred to the attacks on Sunday, stating it dealt a major blow to the group. However, Hezbollah retaliated with a multitude of airstrikes targeting military bases in Israel. Today, the Pentagon announced it would be sending more troops into the Middle East to join thousands of the troops stationed there. Last week, Israeli forces raided the West Bank offices of broadcast news organization Al Jazeera. The troops delivered the closure and forced the company to shut down the office for 45 days. The escalation against Al Jazeera comes as the new organization has become more critical of Israel after its invasion of Gaza. At least 38 are dead and 14 more missing following an explosion at a mine in southern Iran yesterday. Iran state media reported that a methane gas leak caused the explosion in the morning hours Sunday, but that no leaks were found during routine safety checks Saturday night. Additionally, bodies recovered from the explosion show no signs of blast injury, suggesting the deaths occurred due to gas exposure rather than the blast itself. When we come back, the popular game Cards Against Humanity is suing Elon Musk's SpaceX for $15 million. Primetime will be right back.
Thirteen of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore, seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue? Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Welcome back to Texas News Prime Time. New research out of MIT suggests a breakthrough in the fight against HIV. TSTV News' Anish Tawari has the latest. How are you doing today, Anish?
I'm doing great, Joseph. Thank you. The popular game Cards Against Humanity is suing Elon Musk's SpaceX for $15 million. The lawsuit was filed on Thursday and claims that SpaceX was damaging and trespassing land that was owned by Cards Against Humanity near the U.S.-Mexico border. Cards Against Humanity obtained the land in 2017 in order to protect against former President Donald Trump's plan to build a wall on the southern border. If the lawsuit wins, the card game company plans to split proceedings with people who originally donated to them in order to buy the land in the first place. New research out of MIT could be a breakthrough in the fight against HIV. The virus has historically been difficult to treat with vaccines due to its rapid mutation rate that can thwart the immune system's antibody response. But researchers say the challenge can be overcome by administering 2 doses of the vaccine a week apart. Researchers found that the body is able to prime itself to be more effective, responding to the second dose. The relatively short time frame between doses will also minimize the difficulty of mass vaccination that healthcare workers often face with multi-dose vaccines. This new vaccine schedule has the potential to help nearly 40 million people worldwide who are HIV positive. In addition, the tactic could also be applied to vaccines for other diseases in the future. Amazon's investment in AI for the past 25 years has finally paid off, as the new Project Amelia has come to fruition. Project Amelia is an innovative AI assistant designed to help sellers on the website. Amelia serves as a personal assistant, offering customized recommendations for each entrepreneur. The artificial intelligence is beneficial for independent sellers as it helps small business owners with, quote, different regulations and policies, advertise their products and brands to acquire and retain customers, and so much more, end quote, as noted on the Amazon website. The tool has many other features, including promoting business opportunities and catching potential issues for retailers. Sellers are able to ask Amelia questions regarding purchases and are issued responses quickly. By using AI models from Amazon Web Services, such as Amazon Bedrock, Project Amelia is able to retrieve customer data to protect small businesses utilizing the platform. As more sellers employ the tool, the software will be able to evolve and progressively cater to sellers' specific needs.
Thanks, Anish, for bringing us up to date on the world of STEM and business. The Health Alliance for Austin musicians is hosting their annual fundraiser tomorrow. Can you catch us up on life and arts news?
Sure, Nicole. The Austin Public Library celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month yesterday with various events throughout the days. Attendees at the Central Library location crafted paper marigolds, cooked mini tacos, and heard a live performance from a local Latin folk musician. The library collaborated with the MACC Museum to bring an interactive arts and crafts exhibit. TSTV spoke with MACC educator Ale Moreno about the event's impact on local youth.
I didn't grow up with these kinds of programs, so I think it's really cool to be able to give kids the power and the knowledge to know how to make their own wearable art, and just kind of also bring good mentors, good role models into the classroom of people that kind of look like them, younger, to let the kids know that you can in fact make a living out of art.
Good Morning Longhorns Wednesday at 7 a.m. for the full story. The Health Alliance for Austin Musicians is hosting their annual fundraiser and live music celebration known as HAM Day tomorrow. HAM provides access to affordable health care for Austin's low-income working musicians with a focus on prevention and wellness. The event will offer over 200 free live music performances across Greater Austin. There will also be profit shares at restaurants, bars, and shops across the city. For a full guide to HAM Day, visit myhaam.org. Campus Events and Entertainment will be hosting Maria Canals Barrera, who played Teresa Russo in Disney Channel's Wizard of Waverly Place, for an event in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. She will be sharing her journey as a Latina in the entertainment industry and the importance of representation in media through a student-led discussion and Q&A session. This event will be held this Thursday at 7 p.m. in the WCP Auditorium. It is free to attend with your UT ID.
Thank you so much for coming on today, Anish. When we come back, Texas soccer is officially the first team on the 40 acres to play an SEC conference game. Campbell Chip will bring us up to date next and with a special edition of Press Box on PrimeTime.
Thirteen of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore, seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue? Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Primetime. Texas football held onto their #1 spot for the second week in a row after beating University of Louisiana Monroe. How does Texas look going into conference play this weekend?
Yeah, Arch Manning had his first collegiate start on Saturday, passing 239 yards with 2 touchdowns. Arch was 15 for 29 with 2 interceptions, but Sark himself said Saturday's game was the youngest Manning's chance to learn.
Learning lessons, right? I mean, that's, to think he was going to come out and play a perfect game. I don't think anybody in here thought that. I thought he was going to prepare really well, work really hard, do everything he could to play good football. He was going to have some lessons learned, and I think that's what tonight was about.
Game this year, a ton of guys have gotten on the field, most notably Leona LaFou. LaFou grabbed an extra 2 points with a tackle for loss in the end zone. And speaking of defense, Texas D only allowed 111 yards, their lowest of the season. Jaden Blue finishes the game with 4 touchdowns, and Texas wins 51-3.
Campbell, Texas soccer is officially the first team on the 40 acres to play an SEC conference game. Give us an update on how they're doing now.
Yeah, Texas soccer is the first to say they've played in the SEC. That's pretty cool. Number 11, Texas hosted Alabama at Mike Myers Stadium on Thursday, but Texas's record isn't 1-0 or 0-1. Amalia Villarreal scored the first goal of SEC play in the first half, with Jilly Shimkin following it up with a second 10 minutes later. Alabama answers with scores 2, ending the game in a 2-2 tie. Texas then played number 24 Mississippi State on Sunday, but this game ended in a 1-0 loss. The Longhorns will travel back to Mississippi to play Ole Miss on Thursday.
This has been an interesting start of the NFL season, with no season leaders coming to the top yet. How do Texas teams do this Sunday?
Listen, if you're a Texans or Cowboys fans, let's just hope you're a fan of the Texas Longhorns too, because otherwise, your weekend was full of disappointment. The Texans played the Vikings on Sunday, but the Texans left Minneapolis with an undefeated Vikings team behind them. The Vikings put up 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, basically shutting out Houston until the third quarter. Cam Akers records an 8-yard touchdown, but the Texans lose 34-7. And as for the Cowboys, it was bad, but hey, it looked like it was going to be worse. The Cowboys were down 28-6 at half against the Ravens, putting up 19 in the fourth quarter to stay alive. But in true Cowboys fashion, it wasn't enough, and the Ravens win 28-25.
Thank you so much for your insight today, Campbell. Coming up, Dancing with the Stars had its season premiere last Tuesday. Primetime will be right back with the story.
Thirteen of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore, seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue? Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Welcome back to Texas News Primetime. Princess Kate appeared publicly for the first time since finishing chemotherapy. Audrey Wong joins us now to spill the tea. How are you doing today, Audrey?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Joseph. Well, your favorite dancers and celebrities are back in the ballroom as Dancing with the Stars returns for its 33rd season, premiering last Tuesday and stirring up more social media buzz than ever. Following the Paris Olympics, 2 Olympic athletes have taken the stage, including rugby player Ilona Maher and pommel horse gymnast, you might know him as the Specialist, Steven Nadarazic. For The Bachelor fans, both The Bachelor, Joey Graziadei, and The Bachelorette, Jen Tran, from the most recent seasons of the show are making an appearance. NBA star Dwight Howard is also performing, being one of the tallest celebrities to ever compete, standing at 6'11" and towering over his 5'3" dance partner Daniela Karagach. Perhaps the most shocking contestant, however, is convicted con artist Anna Delvey, dancing with a bedazzled ankle monitor on her right foot. For her partner Ezra Sosa, he is making his Dancing with the Stars debut this season as a professional. And the pair has blown up on social media, as Delby's stubbornness toward learning the dances has received significant attention. To keep up with the drama, be sure to tune in on ABC Tuesdays at 7 p.m.
How are you feeling about this season's cast?
I am so excited. I've seen so many clips of everyone's dances, and I think the hype and the vibes are very high this year.
Yeah.
Additionally, Princess Kate of Wales appeared publicly for the first time Sunday after completing chemotherapy. She was seen attending church in Scotland with her husband Prince William, King Charles III, and Queen Camilla. Princess Kate was diagnosed with an undisclosed form of cancer back in March. She returned to her first official engagement last Tuesday, attending a meeting at Windsor Castle.
Audrey, what was your reaction to this news?
I'm just so glad to see that the princess is doing well. I know the past months have been difficult for her and her family, as it has probably been for anyone who has a close family member who's been diagnosed with cancer. So glad to see that she is back and out and about.
I agree. It's great to see her doing well. Well, that's your Monday briefing. I'm Nicole Vargas.
And I'm Joseph Sweeney. From all of us here at TSTV News, thank you so much for watching.
Now go out and change your world.